Hello guys, welcome to the second video of the Robert James Fischer series. In this video we're going to the US Open in 1956. After winning the Junior Championship in 1956 in Philadelphia, Bobby Fischer went to the Oklahoma City to play the US Open. This was a tournament with 101 players, and after the Junior Championship, he gained 318 ELO, making him a national master. In this tournament, Bobby Fischer placed 4th to 8th place with 8.5. The third place had 9 points, and the first and second place had 9.5. In the first round, Bobby Fischer, 13 years old, played against 78 years old Albert, which is a really funny pairing considering the age. It might have been on purpose, maybe not, but it doesn't matter either way. And let's see how the game goes. Bobby Fischer is black, Albert is white, and he starts with 1 e4. c5, the Sicilian, and knight e2. Already from the second move, white is doing a bit of a sideline. It's more usual to play knight f3, attacking e5. With knight on d2, we're actually saying, okay, maybe we want to play f4. Maybe we don't want this annoying pin on g4. So it's a bit more of a flexible, slower approach, but we are blocking this very important bishop at the moment. So Bobby's like, okay, maybe he studied this, but it's very rare if he did. And he just said, okay, let me just develop normally, knight c6. And now b3. b3 is, it's a bit of a weird move because, okay, you want a fianchetto, but you're playing very slowly. Like, you're not doing anything to the center yet. So Bobby Fischer just plays knight f6. You have to defend it with the knight. And now e6. By e6, you're basically saying, okay, I want to play d5 and control the center more. With d5, you're really happy as a Sicilian player. White goes bishop b2 and d5 either way. Pushing would be bad, we simply take it. Taking it would also not be favorable because we just get the center. We can castle very soon, like for you it will be way more difficult. And then we have a very active rook, so that wouldn't be good. And white says, okay, let me play a knight g3 then, opening up the bishop. But it took you 2 moves to even open up the bishop. And we can open up the bishop and castle. And we have developed way more. So the thing is, in this position, black can actually play a very nice move, which is d4. And by playing d4, we kick away the knight, we gain tempo. The knight has to either go back, still blocking the bishop, has to go either to his home square or go to b5. If you go to b5, we win another tempo. You cannot really come in here. We're losing the knight. You have to come back to a3, which is, it looks really ugly here. It can maybe go to c4 later on. But you can also play b5, develop the bishop like this, develop the other bishop. Like, that would have been really bad. But Bobby's like, okay, I don't really want to give away this tension. Let me just keep that and play bishop d6. So you're giving away this advantage we just looked at. And now white's like, okay, I can finally develop my bishop. Let me play bishop b5, pinning the knight. But we can simply castle it out. And if you take the knight now, it's just dumb. You're giving away a really nice bishop for this not so really active knight yet. And by taking the knight, okay, it's maybe doubled for now, but you can never really tape because then we will have a monster center. And this is just way better for black. So white's like, okay, maybe it wasn't the best move. Let me just go back to d3. Now black's like, okay, you just went back. You lost the tempo. Let me play knight e5. Albert didn't like that. He didn't want to trade this bishop, and he goes back to e2. Now Bobby's like, okay, let me bring the knight to the king side. And look at this difference. White has moved his bishop 3 times. And look at the difference in development. Like, look at black's pieces here. and at white's pieces. He only moved his bishop, and black has castled. He has brought his knight to g6. Like, he's won so much time. And Fischer is ready for an attack here. So white plays knight b5, trying to attack the bishop. And the best thing here is to actually bring back the bishop. You don't want to exchange this very active piece or give it away, take the knight, take a defender of the pawn, and then take the pawn. And here Bobby Fischer plays a move which I don't really understand. Like, you could have taken the knight first and then take the pawn. Maybe he didn't like the fact that this rook gets very active and you're maybe castling along later on and then having this pressure to your king side. He probably didn't like that. So he's like, okay, it's not worth it yet. So he just took the pawn. And knight takes e4, d takes e4, and knight takes d6. Queen takes d6. And now, yeah, it's a bit of a worse variation than just taking, but it's still very fine for black. Okay, we have a doubled pawns, but we are already castled. Our queen is active, the knight is coming in later on, this bishop will activate soon, so it's just a better position for black. And now white, his best move is actually d3. If you take back, you undouble the pawns. You do activate this bishop, and look at those monster bishops looking at your king side. Like, if we get those rooks in somehow, this would get really, really dangerous. He doesn't play d3, he plays g3, which is really weakening the king side so much. Like, you're weakening those light squares a lot. And Bobby Fischer plays the best move here, which has a double purpose. It's both limiting the bishop and activating our own bishop, e5. You're blocking the bishop's path, defending it twice, and you're also activating your own bishop, which is a really nice move. And now white plays c4, which is terrible. You're just giving away this very critical square, which is attacked twice. Now Bobby Fischer plays bishop h4, h3, sorry. White brings the bishop back because he cannot castle right now, so he just exchanges the bishops. Rook takes f1, and now black plays f5. He's finally ready. All his pieces are coming together. The knight's gonna join, and we're just gonna go for the attack. White's king is just doing nothing in the center. So white's like, okay, we have to somehow get this king to the queen side maybe. Let me develop my queen. And he plays queen c2, which is a bad move. He should have probably played queen e2 because black wants to bring his knight here, ideally. But if you play knight e7 now, we have f3. If you take, we can just take this one, and you're giving away your advantage. We're going to take this pawn, and there's not much here. But by playing queen c2, we can go for this idea, because now this would be bad. We can simply take, and you're not attacking this pawn twice. So that's actually what happens. Bobby Fischer finds the best move, knight e7, bringing the knight to the queen side, where it will go to either one of those very critical squares. So knight e7, white's like, okay, I finally made some space, let me castle on move 17. Long castle. And knight c6, a great move, saying I want to go to either one of those files. So white has to look out. He says, okay, let me bring the bishop to c3 to defend this square at least. If you come in here. And black's like, I don't care, let me just come in either way. And now the knight's a monster knight. It cannot be kicked away from pawns. So we call this an outpost. So white has to do something about it. It's attacking the queen. So he's like, okay, your knight is way more active. My bishop is not going to do anything anyway right now. Like, it's very trapped. Let me just exchange. E takes d4, and just look at this. Like, it's so beautiful. Taking away all those squares, a lot of activity. Like, it's really hard for white to do anything here. It's almost lost already. He plays king b1, rook a e8, and now we'll just see a very nice finish from Bobby Fischer. Let's watch it together. Rook fe1, rook e5, d3, attacking the pawn, which, okay, we're just doubling our rooks anyway. Queen d2, e takes d3, rook takes e5, queen takes e5, and queen takes d3. Still one pawn up, but we're just way more active. Queen e2, taking would be bad, we can simply take back and eat those pawns. So he attacks the queen, we take queen takes d3, rook takes d3, rook e1 check, king c2, rook e2 check, and exchanging the rooks. Now white's not having anything. The problem with this position is that whatever white does, this pawn will always be dangerous. Like the king has always a need to have a lookout for this pawn, because if you don't, it's just going to queen. Like you cannot come in easily to attack and eat our pawns, because no one is defending this one. So that's what makes this position so bad. So Bobby Fischer's like, okay, let me just play f4. I don't care. Let me just give away the pawn to undouble your pawns. They would be terrible. And Albert's like, no, I'm not going to take. Let me just bring my king to the game. King d3. King f7. a3, maybe trying to get something here to take away this one. And maybe take the d4 pawn later on. King f6, b4, simply b6, defending the c5 pawn. So if you take, I take back. King e4, king g5, g takes f4 check, king g4, f3 check, king h3. And this might look really weird if you look at it like you're saying, okay, is white not going to take those pawns? But you always have to look out for this pawn. If there was a white pawn here, then it would be way better for white, but it's just impossible to take away an eye of this pawn for the king. f5, king takes h2, f4, king g3, b takes c5, b takes c5, a4, a5, saying you're going to do nothing here. King d5, d3, king takes c5, d2. And there was the moment where Albert was like, okay, my pawn is not queening faster than your pawn. If I move away right now, you're going to queen, and there's just nothing here. So this was the first round of the US Open. Bobby showed great technique here, actually punishing the very slow and bad approach of Albert in the Sicilian defense. And in the next video, we will see how Bobby does in the US Open. See you in the next video. Bye bye.